Hey there, I'm Emgris, I'm from Russia, and today I'm in the center of Moscow city, and it's the Red Square, the famous Red Square. And you see the Kremlin behind me, the Mausoleum, GUM, the main shop basically. And today we'll be talking about all of this. So stay tuned and click the bell notification button, and also like this video. You can unlike it later, right? So stay tuned. Lenin is still pretty popular. Do you know what is that building behind me? Yeah, that's right. This is the mausoleum, the Lenin Mausoleum. Basically, that's the place where Lenin is, was, and will be. That's the old saying. And basically, yes, we still have the mummy in the middle of our country, but it's a disputable thing whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Today I will be going there, and it will be my second time, but unfortunately we can't film inside. I will show you the pictures, and I will show you how we are going inside. But basically, yes, when Lenin died, they decided that it was such a prominent and important figure that he just can't be buried. And a lot of people wanted to say goodbye to their leader. So that's why Lenin was put first on the display, and people were going and going and going, paying their, like, not duty, but paying their respect to this leader. And later they decided that Lenin shouldn't be buried at all, and Lenin should be put in a mausoleum. And basically that's the mausoleum that we have right now, built by Shushev. And there were several mausoleums before that, I think 3, and first was wooden, but later this one actually was created. And Lenin is inside. You can see the inscription, Lenin. But actually, when Stalin was dead, he was put near Lenin in this mausoleum, and it said Stalin and Lenin on the entrance of the mausoleum. But now Stalin is buried, and like properly buried. I will show you also the footage of his like memorial, his grave tombstone. And it's really hot here, guys, today. I'm a little bit melting. So yes, you can visit Lenin. The working hours are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, from I think 11 a.m. Till 1 p.m. So yeah, just these hours, but still it is free. You can just go here. Don't take anything like knives and anything that you wouldn't take on a plane with you, but you're free to visit it, and you can do it anytime when it is open. I recommend doing that. Near the Kremlin wall, and basically on the Kremlin wall, there is the memorial. A lot of people are buried here, mostly revolutionists, but also we can see a lot of prominent figures, but also some of them that you know. So Stalin is buried here, and also Gagarin is buried here, the first ever man in space, basically after the Belka and Strelka, the dogs. And yeah, he's literally my favorite out of all of those people. Right now we are in GUM, and here you can get the very famous ice cream. It is famous because they say it's like in our childhood, but basically it's just a very good ice cream. I totally recommend going here. It costs just 100 rubles. It costs just €1, and it is really tasty. That's just the exhibition of modern art here on the Red Square. It's kind of fun. Guys, let's go into the Kremlin. And Kremlin is basically the essence of an ancient city, and that's what Moscow was at the beginning of its history. And since then, the Kremlin was wooden. It was a white wall, and now it has red walls. And the current version of the Kremlin is built by Italian architectures. That's why you can see those figures. Like if you know the Italian architecture, you know that those figures are actually pretty famous in Italian buildings. But let's go into the Kremlin and I will show you what's going on inside. So here is the famous Tsar Bell. And no, they didn't drop it. It actually suffered in the fire when it was built, and because of the differences of temperatures, and they tried to cool it down by hot water, but still it didn't survive, and we still can see several cracks here. Let's have a look. So you can see several cracks on the bell itself, and so it's called the Tsar Bell, but it's not the Tsar Bell because it's so big. Basically it's the Tsar Bell because at those times there was a tradition that every Tsar should have his own bell, and after he died the bell was remade. It was melted down and remade into a new bell. And every bell actually was huger and huger. This one is actually not for the Tsar, it's for the Empress, Anna Ivanovna. And she wanted to have the biggest bell ever, the one that could be heard within the distance of 100 kilometers. But this bell actually had never given a sound because it doesn't have the tongue of the bell, and it was never hung. So the bell is not. This bell didn't have a chance to be. The bell is just a monument now. But actually, they made with the computer program. They made a sound that this bell should have sounded like, and they put the size. They put the metal that it consists of, all the parameters, and they found out that the sound is quite unpleasant. It's very low, and it, like, you know, stays in your head forever. Okay, not forever, but for a really long time. So maybe it's a good thing that it never actually was active, let's put it like this. So it was all the time, it was just silent. Here is the Tsar Cannon, and it's huge. Actually, the ball that we can see here weighs about a ton, but actually if you compare the ball with the cannon itself, you will see that they are different, and this ball will never work with this cannon. So this cannon actually shoots with balls like this, and even stones. Sometimes they use stones because it was easy, and they just cut stones so that they will have sharp edges, and they will put them into the cannon, and just it will fire and make everything in the radius of it die, basically. So it's kind of a weapon of mass destruction. And do you think this cannon actually fired? They say that probably once, because it is more like a monument than the working cannon, because as you see it's too huge to be carried around during the wartime. So it's more like a monument to make other people, basically visitors from other countries, see it, understand the power of the emperor, and so that they will know that the emperor is a tough guy that you don't want to mess up with. We are inside the Kremlin itself, and that is the main square of the Kremlin. It's called Соборная Square, Соборная площадь. That is Cathedral Square. It means that we have four cathedrals over here, and all of them are really ancient, and all of them played an important part in the history of our country. So, for example, in this cathedral, our patriarch, the head of our church, he performs service here, and also for czars of the old times, and we can see a lot of ancient icons there as well. I will show you some footage.
Ну вот, наверное, сегодняшний день самая актуальная тема – эпидемия. В старину ведь очень много было.
Behind me you can see the bell tower of Ivan the Great, and it used to be the highest building in Moscow. It is about 81 meters, if I'm not mistaken, but it used to be the highest building for many years, for many centuries actually, and right now it's just a high building, nothing more than that, but again it's a very historical thing. Do you see the yellow palace behind me? Probably you can see it. It's actually the palace where our president, Putin, you know him, he hosts and participates in a lot of events, like inauguration, for example. It happens over there, and also some important laws are signed there, and also when the Georgievsky Zal, the Georgian hall, is also there. That is the place where they give the awards to prominent people of our times. It happens, I think, once a year, not sure here, but yes, we can see this building, especially the inside of this building, in different TV shows and TV programs about inauguration and about these events. By the way, come over here, come over here. Do you see another yellow building with white behind me? Oh, with a dome, with a black dome. That's actually the office of our president, so there are two buildings that are associated with Putin here, and the palace is one of them, and this building that used to be the Senate of our country, so now Putin has the office there, and he works there when he is not in Novogoryova, where he has his presidency. Do you see something unusual about this inscription? It says Tsar Fyodor Alexeyevich and the date of death
but there is no date of birth, because basically at those times people thought that it's unimportant, because life is just the short period of time before the eternal life. And that's the place where a lot of Tsars were buried before they actually buried them in St. Petersburg.
Have you got any questions about Russia or about Moscow? Leave in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, click the bell notification button and follow me on other social media, links in the description below. See ya!